The rogue nation is defying calls from around the world to stop a long-range rocket launch planned for next month. And it's put U.S. diplomacy efforts in serious jeopardy. Today, North Korean officials maintained this launch of a satellite is for peaceful purposes, despite growing suspicion around the world that it's just a cover for a test of a nuclear weapon delivery system. At the same time, state television showed this video of the country's new leader, Kim the Younger, or Kim Jong-un, reportedly conducting live fire drills with all three branches of his military. The video is likely to boost his credentials amid questions over whether Kim the Younger would be as tough a leader as his father, Kim Jong-il. And today, the United Nations nuclear watchdog reports it's received an invitation from North Korea to come visit. The agency apparently has not yet sent in an RSVP. Joining us now is Philip Yun. He's a former senior advisor for North Korean policy under the Clinton administration and is now the executive director and chief operating officer of the non-governmental organization, the Plowshares Fund. He's been to North Korea 4 times now and met with Kim Jong-il. Sir, it's nice to see you. What do you make of these developments?
Well, I think it's very serious. I think there's no doubt that the North Koreans are determined to launch the satellite. This is a problem. It's a problem because of process. One is we just don't know what these negotiations are what's going to happen with the negotiations. Were the North Koreans being disingenuous or too cute by half from the very beginning? Or more ominously, is there a disconnect between what the leadership was saying and communicating to its particular negotiating team? We're just not sure. There's a substantive problem as well, which is the fact that this missile launch, this satellite launch goes off. They're going to be able to have improvements in their missile system. They're going to learn about it. And while over the short term it's not that huge of an issue because they've done this 3 times before, it is something that over the longer term we have to be very concerned about.
China is making things much more difficult almost every day.
They are trying to. There's no question about it. They're in a very difficult position. Trying to be a part of the leaders of the international community, they don't want to be seen as condoning this. But their essential policy to this point has been, in effect, shielding North Korea. There's been a basic strategy of whether we use carrots and sticks. And the problem for the United States perspective is the fact that there are not many sticks that we can use because what's happening is that China is helping them or shielding them through the back door, allowing them to be able to get through the UN sanctions and other sanctions that other countries are putting in place on them.
A new figurehead on this regime, obviously, but history tells us what the North Koreans do is when their people get really, really hungry, they say, well, maybe we'll this, and then we give them food aid, and then they don't do this. It's not new.
Well, right. This is very much more the same in many respects. So in certain ways, I think this very move plays to a lot of the critics of the regime and people who are not in favor of any kind of discussion or engagement with North Korea. On the other hand, this is a new leadership.
Yeah.
And we don't know what they're capable of one way or the other. And I think the more prudent way to go forward is do a parallel track. You prepare for the worst, and then you hope for the best, and you try to have discussions to see what this regime is capable of doing and what it's not.
And we ought to know soon enough. Philip Yun live with us. Philip, it's good to see you. Thank